Moving to a new country is complicated.
So naturally, you've asked a lot of questions about it.
From wanting to know about our new life, future plans and experiences,
To all things New Zealand related, which includes the very important topic of Springboks versus All Blacks.
today we're going to be answering as many of your questions as possible. But first, if you're new around here, we are Craig and Chantal. We immigrated to New Zealand from South Africa 2 years ago. So that is the context of today's video. Let's get into it. Question number one, why did you pick New Zealand and what led you to move overseas? Well, in the beginning of 2022, our New Year's resolution was to decide where in the world we wanted to move to. A few months later, Craig got this random LinkedIn message and we thought that this time it was the one to respond to, and it was a job opportunity in New Zealand and we took it. A lot of questions came in regarding if we would move back to South Africa or if we're waiting for our citizenship and then going to Australia. And all we can say is that we don't know what the future holds, and if we wanted to go to Australia, we would have just gone there in the first place because immigrating is expensive and it's not an easy thing to do.
How long did it take you to adjust and how quickly did you settle in? In some aspects it was pretty easy and quick to settle in, but other things like the currency and learning new names and getting around took us a bit longer. But we always love an adventure, so it's been fun experiencing new brands and new places and new sites.
Do you feel yourself drawn to the South African expat community? That is quite a complicated question because yes, we are kind of drawn to it, but we also in a way push to it, because if we meet someone that is not South African, the first thing they would say most of the time is, oh, I know this and this South African, or come and meet this other South African. So I feel like expats from whichever country are kind of drawn to each other in a way. Do you have friends? We are very fortunate that our friends from Durban, who you might have seen in a few of our South African videos, came over to New Zealand just before we did, and they now live like right around the corner from us. We're also very grateful to have met some amazing people through YouTube.
Is it even possible to make Kiwi friends? Yes it is, but being in Auckland, it's very international here, so we don't actually meet too many Kiwis in our day-to-day activities, but we have made some really cool Kiwi friends at church and at work. And if you're Kiwi and you want to be our friends, let us know, because yeah, we're always keen for new friends.
Have any Kiwis suggested that you are rude or abrupt? No. I don't know how to answer. How are the people really? In our experience, the New Zealanders have been nothing but welcoming, friendly and super chatty. And especially when we lived in Whangarei, our Kiwi neighbours came over and introduced themselves and invited us to their house. That has never happened to us even in South Africa. We actually really enjoy the New Zealanders.
Do you have a New Zealand accent? Yeah, no. We don't have a New Zealand accent, but we've been told we're using a lot of New Zealand words, but I think we'll always have our South African accent. We lived there the majority of our life, so that's the South African accent and it's probably going to stay. But you tell us, do I have a New Zealand accent or not?
Is Auckland home?
Yes.
Or has another part of New Zealand caught your eye?
No.
If you had to choose again, which part of New Zealand would you settle in?
Auckland.
We love Auckland and we love the city and we love everything it has to offer. There's always something going on.
It's the place to be for drinks, food, concerts, sports, everything, so we really enjoy that.
What do you love most about New Zealand? We love the beauty of this country.
Just the beautiful bays, the beaches, the rugged coastlines, the parks, the trails.
And also how safe all of that is. What's your favorite food in New Zealand? Whittaker's chocolate?
All the different types of craft beer. I suppose beer is carbs.
The variety of international cuisines, especially at the night markets.
One of my favorite things I've had here is a Thai Penang curry.
How does the food quality and taste compare to South Africa? I think that is different from person to person, but we love all the food here in New Zealand, especially lamb chops.
In terms of pricing, New Zealand is generally more expensive, but where we feel it the most is in the fresh produce.
Is the cost of living higher in New Zealand than in South Africa? New Zealand is one of the most expensive countries in the world, and this topic probably deserves a whole video on its own, so keep a lookout for that. Do you work, Chantal? Yes, I do. I have a part-time work from home position in customer service, so yes, I work.
What's your experience with GPs and long waits? In our experience, we've joined a medical practice that's close to where we live. We wait at most 2 days to see a GP. Although when we had COVID, we went to the emergency White Cross clinics where we were seen straight away. We probably waited about an hour altogether. And even when I had COVID, they actually came to see me at my car window and give me all my meds. So we've had a pretty good experience, but that's from our side, and we haven't been to the doctor too often. But guys, the dentist, woo, the dentist, it costs a lot. I think I paid $1,000 almost for 2 fillings, which is so much money. So what is crime like in New Zealand? Well, we don't have the exact stats, but we heard on the radio the other day that it's down 30% since last year. But generally we feel safe and there's a lot of police presence in the city.
Are you still using Skinny and are you happy with it? Yes, I am, and Craig is also using it, and I got SIM cards for my parents when they were here. I also have a little code in the description, and if you use it when you sign up for Skinny, you can get some free gigs.
What about the weather? Well, New Zealand is the land of the long white cloud. You can have rain and sunshine and rain and sunshine and rain and sunshine all on the same day. We must say that when we first arrived that first year, the weather was atrocious, but we had cyclones and we had floods. However, last summer was beautiful. This last winter's been beautiful. It gets cold in winters here in Auckland. We love the weather because we have proper seasons here, which we really enjoy. Best thing is the sun sets so late, so you can go to the beach after work, which is what we did last year during summer. So we're really looking forward to summer.
How are taxi drivers compared to South African taxi drivers? Well, it's not the same at all. To be honest, we have never been more relaxed driving on roads than we have here. I know a lot of people complain about traffic in Auckland, but we live strategically and we hardly ever sit in the traffic. But even if we did, compared to where we lived in South Africa, there were so many accidents and traffic all the time. So for us, this is actually a dream. Do you see yourselves as Kiwis now?
Yeah, nah, sweet as bro.
No, yeah. Do you miss your hometown? We lived in Ballito for quite a few years when we first got married, and we do miss it because we lived in a beautiful apartment right across from the beach. We miss that Indian Ocean, let me tell you. And we also miss that constant holiday vibe. What do you miss most about South Africa? We miss our friends and we miss our family, especially family gatherings, and just the familiarity of the country that we grew up in and the gees. What South African food do you miss the most?
Good old Durban bunny chows.
Honey glazed pork rashers.
Pigging out on sushi.
Because sushi is cheap in South Africa. I miss wimpy breakfast on a road trip.
Escort pork sausages.
Spur chicken wings with turkey sauce.
Yum. And easy access to all the biltong you want. Now it's time for the rugby questions. Okay, not yet though. Let's go. Are we All Black supporters now? No. But we do like them. What was the Rugby World Cup experience like in New Zealand? For us it was pretty hard to watch the games because they were so early in the morning, but we managed to go watch the final at Eden Park, which is incredible, surrounded by All Blacks fans, and when the All Blacks lost, they quietly got up and went home. It was pretty cool to just party with the South Africans.
We all found each other on the field afterwards and we were singing the national anthem on Eden Park's grass.
So cool.
And by the way, we at the All Blacks experience, just on the outside of it, to answer these questions.
Yeah, this is up here by Sky Tower. Pretty cool thing to do if you want to get the All Blacks experience.
We still want to go in and do the
Yeah.
paid experience.
Is the experience of watching an All Black game as intense as watching a South African game? I think we should answer this question somewhere else because look behind me. Yeah. This is a much safer place to talk about it. But watching rugby in South Africa is an amazing experience. Flying outside the stadium, aeroplanes flying over the stadium, and just everyone just being in such a vibe for the whole weekend over a Bok game. We haven't had the proper experience here in New Zealand. We've watched one All Blacks game, but that was at Mount Smart. We would love to watch a game at Eden Park because we imagine the gees, the vibe must be really good here too. Maybe watching South Africa versus the All Blacks here is not quite the same because you go to the games here and it's about a 50-50 split in the crowds because there's a lot of South Africans in New Zealand. Where in South Africa it's almost like 100% South Africans, which just makes the vibe amazing and everyone is in green. In our experience, it's more intense watching a rugby game in South Africa, but we've only been to one New Zealand game here in New Zealand. So we are planning to go to a lot more and we'll have a better idea of the comparison. Any regrets? No. Any negatives? Yes. Being so far from friends and family is hard, but because of video calls and technology, it does make it a bit easier, and being able to bring our parents over just to see where we live does help a lot with that. Other than that, we really love life here in Auckland, New Zealand. Was immigrating to New Zealand worthwhile, and why in terms of what? Yes, it was, because the opportunities here in a first world country are just endless, and with us being able to get the passport one day, it just opens the doors to travel.
So that was a lot of questions to get through, and we hope you got something from this Q&A.
And if you are a South African or a Kiwi, please share your experiences and opinions in our comment section.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question number 1.
Well.
Well, things to know about what?
to it. I started